Here's a quick video to explain pit stop strategies. Before you head out on track at all, so as soon as you join the server, you'll be in the practice session, click on the wrench, and you'll see at the top there are all these options, all of which are locked, except for one, the pit stop strategy. You will see there are 3 strategies, so 1, 2, 3, that you can select, and you can add fuel, you can change the tire compounds, and you can change the tire pressures. Now we've only got one compound, so it's either a question of do I change the tires or not. At the moment I'm saying we're not going to change the tires, but we do want to add fuel. Let's say we want to add 20 liters of fuel. So you don't have to save anything, that will stay there for the remainder of the session. So for practice, for qualifying, and for the race, your pit stop strategy is set. Bear in mind that the amount of fuel you can carry in the car is limited to 25 liters for this race. So even if you say add 20 liters and you've only got 20 liters in the tank, it'll only go to 25, not 40. You need to think about when you're actually going to do your pit stop to make sure you can get to the end of the race. Otherwise, you may have to do a splash and go. We've set up our strategy. Let's head out on track, and then I'll explain how we do a pit stop. Now I'm just going to stop here on the straight to show something. We can look at the pit stop strategies and change it at any point in time. If you use the arrow keys on your keyboard or the D-pad on your wheel, if it is set up, you will see a menu pops up on the right showing your presets, and it disappears. So it'll pop up and just stay there for a short while, and you can use the arrow keys to change the presets that you've set, and you can scroll through all these various things. Now let's say this was our preset, we want to add 20 liters. Let's say we want to change the tires as well, so we'll put fresh tires on. It could be a good strategy during qualifying, but we've got some body repairs and the engine is a bit suspect. Right, so we've changed those now, and that menu goes away. Let's head back to the pits and see what happens. Right, so now we've decided we're going into the pits. As soon as you enter pit lane, that menu pops up and will stay up the whole time you're in pit lane. Your speed will be limited automatically to 50 miles an hour. Now, on your way in, if you want, you can decide to make changes. So we damaged the suspension on the way in. Let's make some suspension changes too. You will see a long line of crew along here. Don't worry about them, you can drive through them. Come up to your pit box, and I would recommend changing down into first before you enter, because you can't change gear while work's being done. Once you stop, all the work's being done on the car, they're changing the tires, they've already topped it up with fuel, and you'll see it's only at 25 liters. So the lollipop comes up and we can head out. But let's say we forgot to do something. Let's just back out of the pit box just far enough until the lollipop comes down. We could then make changes that we wanted to do here. So let's say that we wanted to do changes to the suspension. I know we did them already. And then you can come back into the pit box, and they're changing the tires again because I still had the tires to do. The changes to the suspension didn't take long because there was nothing to do. There was nothing wrong with the car. We're in first gear and off we go. And that menu stays up until we exit pit lane, and then it will go as you drive away, and then off we go. So let's go to the next session. So one thing to point out here, at the top of the screen, you can see we've got the practice time, 45 minutes, qualifying time, 15 minutes, then race, 30 minutes plus. So 30 minutes plus 1 lap. The pit will open with 20 minutes left and will close with 10 minutes left. You must pit within that window, and you must either put 1 liter of fuel in or change your tires. you're going to have to put fuel in because there is not enough fuel to go through the race. So if we head out on track, I'm just going to head out on track just long enough to look at the presets and make sure that it's still the same preset that we had to start the day. So let's just stop here. I use the arrow keys on my D-pad, and then we can see that the preset has not changed. So I've got 20 liters of fuel and a tire change with the medium compound tires. Let's head to the start of the race. There's one more thing I want to show you. So here we are at the start of the race. If you look at the top of the screen, you've got the countdown and the notes to remind you to add at least a liter of fuel or do a tire change while the pit window is open. And during the race, there will be a notice that will come up that will say that the pit window is open, and it'll give a countdown until it closes.